Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever all y'all might be. It is Friday night, November 13th. Video made for tomorrow's matches. I've got 8 that I'm going to tell you guys about. Hopefully, more winners than losers. But that's up to you guys to decide if you want to tail me, if you want to fade me. I'm just here to provide the picks, free as always. I hope you guys enjoy the content. All I ask in return is that you do leave a thumbs up, and if possible, please do subscribe to the channel. I do produce this kind of content now on a daily basis, and I would love for you guys to join the Mavakaga family here on YouTube. Today we're going to be covering Colorado versus Stanford, Army versus Tulane, Arkansas versus Florida, Oregon versus Washington State, Vanderbilt versus Kentucky, Texas State versus Georgia Southern, Notre Dame versus Boston College, Wisconsin versus Michigan. I'm going to give you my 2 best plays of those 8 matches further in the video. So, without further ado, good luck to you guys, whatever you decide to pick. Hopefully, you guys, like I said, enjoy this, and yeah, let's make some cash. All right, remember, never ever bet with your heart. Always bet with your head. And for all you guys out there, I'm talking about the top one. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's roll. A little inside-out handicapping here. First, Colorado got an outright upset win over UCLA last week. However, note the Buffs were +4 in turnovers and nearly blew a big lead. It was an emotional game for head coach Carl Dorrell, who played and coached at UCLA. On the other side, Stanford played much better than the 35-14 final at Oregon last week. Despite playing without their starting quarterback Davis Mills and top playmaker wide receiver Connor Weddington, they had 413 yards, but missed 4 field goals. Mills and Weddington's statuses are unknown this week, and I think this line could only go up if they get cleared. Let's also compare lines. Last week, UCLA was laying 6.5 on the road versus Colorado. This week, Stanford is laying 6.5 at home to Colorado, now up to 7.5. Who is better, UCLA or Stanford? I'm guessing you'd pick Stanford like I do. That screams line value. Let's go half a unit, Stanford minus 7.5 over Colorado. This one, half a unit, Stanford minus 7.5 over Colorado. The Green Wave are quietly playing their best ball of the season with 4 straight covers and back-to-back blowout wins. They're taking on an Army team that hasn't played the last couple of weeks. Yes, 6-1 Army have been impressive so far this season, but who in the hell have they played? They've won 3 games against FCS opponents. They've also beat Middle Tennessee, ULM, and UTSA, who all rank number 114 or worse in the power ratings. Meanwhile, Tulane has close losses to Navy and SMU, or they would be getting more love. Tulane knows how to run and defend the run, as they outrushed Temple and ECU by a combined 449 yards the last 2 weeks. And the Green Wave have won and covered 3 straight versus Army since 2015. Need I say more? I'm riding the wave here. I'm going to go with another half unit. Army versus Tulane, Tulane minus 3.5. Gimme Tulane. I know that dreaded half more than a field goal, but still, I don't see it as a problem. I'm thinking they win by 8 to 10 points. Riding the wave, Tulane minus 3.5 for half a unit. Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman has tested positive for COVID and will not coach here. However, they are in good shape with DC and former Missouri head coach Barry Odom taking over as interim. Arkansas is 6-0 ATS and 3-3 straight up after their 24-13 win over Tennessee last week. The Hogs trailed 13-0 at halftime, but QB Franks got it going in the second half with 3 touchdown passes. Obviously, he will be playing with a chip on his shoulder here after being the starter at Florida for a couple of seasons. Speaking of the Gators, We easily cashed with Florida last week as they crushed Georgia after trailing 14-0 early. QB Kyle Trask has a great 22-3 touchdown to interception ratio on the season, but he could be missing his outstanding tight end Kyle Pitts, who took a devastating hit last week. I'm actually liking Arkansas in this one to cover. I think there's too many points. Another half-unit play. Arkansas versus Florida. Florida minus 17. Let's go Arkansas plus 17 for half a unit. That's the play for this one. Let's go to the next. Washington State, in case you weren't awake late and might have missed last Saturday's Pac-12 After Dark feature, new WSU Nick Rolovich revealed a joker from his card deck in Frosh quarterback Jaden DeLora, who befuddled Oregon State with his arms and legs and keyed a well-balanced Cougar O, 229 yards receiving, 227 yards passing, that outscored the Beavers in Corvallis. And the clever June Jones disciple Rolovich, who resuscitated alma mater Hawaii the past few years, is going to give the Oregon a lot more to think about than did a COVID-depleted Stanford last Saturday that saw quarterback Davis Mills a late scratch among others and was helped by some faulty special teams work, such as 4 missed field goals by PK Jet Toner on David Shaw's side. True, new Duck sophomore quarterback Tyler Shaw did a pretty good Justin Herbert imitation, 227 yards passing last week versus the tree, but might not be able to risk leaning on running back CJ Verdell, who had 105 yards rushing last week, and the Webfoot infantry here. And whether it was Paul Wolf or Mike Leach's WSU the past 10 season, the Cougs covered the spread in every one of those years versus the Phil Knights. This one, gonna go Washington State as another dog to bite, getting 10.5 points, half a unit play. Washington State plus 10.5 against Oregon. Good luck if you do decide to go with this one with me, half a unit play. Vanderbilt, eh? Anything goes in 2020. Even featured recommendations back-to-back weeks on a still winless Vandy side. But that does seem to be at least making incremental progress. Good value last week when comfortably staying within an inflated spread at Mississippi State. Frosh, Ken Seals starting to resemble a real college quarterback with back-to-back 300-yard passing games, and sophomore running back Keon Henry Brooks emerging as a present-day poor man's SEC version of Alvin Kamara, catching 20 passes out of the backfield the past 3 games and gouging a stiff Bulldog stop unit for 115 yards rushing last week. Meanwhile, much like Mike Leach's Bulldogs, we don't see how on God's green earth that UK and its Neanderthal 103rd ranked O can lay double digits to any foe. With Cats not getting much from either quarterback, Terry Wilson, who missed the October 31st Georgia game with hand injury, or mechanical Auburn transfer Joey Gatewood, who can't throw downfield and barely gaining a puny 6 yards per completion. This one, again, has dog written all over it. Too many points, Kentucky. Kentucky laying 18. You know what we're going with here? Half a unit, Vandy to cover. Give me those 18 points. Gladly. Once again, this play, Vanderbilt, half a unit, plus 18. Good luck as well to you, and may the winnings be yours. Georgia Southern has been a tough customer at Allen E. Paulson Stadium lately, winning 8 straight while allowing foes just 14.6 points per game and covering 6 of the last 7 of those. Wheels have fallen off for Texas State, as Bobcats have quarterback switch last week didn't arrest the team's 6-game losing streak, with Tyler Vitt throwing 2 interceptions, along with his 2 touchdown passes in the 38-17 home loss to App State last week. Teams have been abusing Texas State's 106th ranked defense, which has regressed badly against the run in its last 3 games, allowing 5.8 yards per catch. That's not good news against the Eagle option and speedy quarterback Shea Wertz, who also completed 12 of 13 passes in upset of Troy Saturday. Keep a note though, the Eagles under is 8-1 in the last 9, including 5 straight at home. Problem though is the over-under is too low in my opinion, 49.5. So I'm not going to pick a total. All I'm going to go with here, I like Georgia Southern minus 10 for half a unit. They cover well at home. And as I said, Texas State has not been playing very good. I don't see them putting up many points. I think Georgia Southern cover this at minus 10 for half a unit. After notching their first win over a number 1 team in 27 years, a double overtime 47-40 thriller versus Clemson, this is an obvious letdown spot for Notre Dame. With that being said, the Irish have certainly impressed us in recent weeks. Last week they controlled the line of scrimmage versus Clemson with a 208-34 rushing yard edge, and probably will control it here versus a BC team averaging only 107 yards per game. However, this is BC's red bandana game, where they honor BC alum Wells Crowther, who was a 9/11 hero. The Eagles have played inspired and pulled off upsets over USC, Florida State, and Miami in this red bandana game in the past. On top of it, they look to evoke memories of 1993, where they upset Notre Dame, the week after the Irish beat a number 1 team. More to that this year is we look for Notre Dame transfer quarterback Phil Jurkovich to play with a chip on his shoulder versus his former teammates, and he should have success versus a Notre Dame pass defense that just gave up 439 yards last week. BC is on an 8-1-1 ATS run as a home dog. And while the power ratings have this game right at the number, remember, power raters don't factor in this situation at all. I think the situation is worth a few points in this game. I am absolutely loving Boston College this weekend. So much so, I'm going to go 1 unit, Boston College, plus 11.5. That's the line right now. I understand it's been dropping more and more as the week went by, but I'm still going to grab it for 1 unit, Boston College, plus 11.5. Last time here in 2018 was a top 15 matchup. UW's 25-point loss was the largest under Paul Chryst and also snapped the Badgers' school record 17 consecutive Big Ten regular season win streak and their school record 8-game Big Ten road winning streak. That game was part of the Michigan Revenge Tour of 2018, when they got revenge on 3 teams not named Ohio State that beat them in 2017. Michigan is at home playing with major revenge. Last year, down 7-0, University of Michigan fumbled at the Wisconsin 7 on its first drive, and it got ugly as they trailed 35-0 before scoring a couple of second-half touchdowns in a 35-14 beatdown in Madison. The home team is 10-1 straight up the last 11 meetings and 8-3 against the spread. Harbaugh is 30-3 straight up at home versus teams not named Ohio State. Catch what I'm saying here? UW is 1-3 against the spread. As an AD the last 4 years, Michigan looked strong in the opener versus Minnesota, a 25-point road win, but then, as a 3-touchdown favorite, lost to Michigan State 27-24 at home. Last week, Indiana snapped a 24-game losing streak to Michigan, which went back to 1987. Indy led 24-7 at half, and twice Michigan pulled within 10, but after an interception, went 29-7 for a touchdown, including 4th-and-1 conversion, and won 38-21, with 28-17 FD edge. Quarterback Joe Milton is hitting 64% with a 1-0 ratio, and Don Brown's defense is allowing 412 yards per game. Wisconsin dominated Illinois in the opener and looked like a playoff contender with Graham Mertz hitting 20 of 21 passes and the defense allowing just 218 yards. The Badgers had their next 2 games postponed and have missed valuable practice time, and with the Big Ten's ridiculous 21-day quarantine, Mertz will be available to practice for the first time on Friday. That sets up perfectly for Michigan's revenge, as the whole world is dumping on Michigan, and they are a home dog in a desperate situation. Loving the fact we are getting 4.5 points on Michigan. I'm going to go for this one, just like the Boston College game. 1 unit, Michigan, plus 4.5 at home. I'm also going to put half a unit on Michigan money line at plus 167. Hopefully you guys ride this one. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Do you think this is good value on Michigan? Or is this just another sneak attack where we get bit in the butt yet again by this Wolverine team? If you like this video, please don't forget, give a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel. More coming daily. Thanks guys, and good luck. May the winnings be yours. Alright guys, so there you have it. My two best picks of the night are going to be Boston College plus the 11.5 and Michigan plus 4.5. Both dogs. I think they cover. I'm hoping Michigan also wins it outright. I'm going to spray a little bit of a unit or half a unit on that. But the two best plays I'm going to go with is 1 unit, Boston College plus 11.5, 1 unit, Michigan plus 4.5. Hope you guys agree with these picks. If not, like I said, whichever way you go, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always curious to see what you guys think, what you guys feel, what's your lean, and the reasoning behind it, if you have any. Do let me know. And again, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay strong, stay safe, peace and love, peace and love. Protect yourselves, protect each other, love one another, man. In life, that's all that matters. Let the winnings be yours. Guys and gals, good luck. Let's see you all tomorrow for NFL Sundays picks. But for now, let's cash in on these college football picks. Let's go. I'm out.